You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Haha, Rebels, we're back. We're at full strength. No more short-handed goals being made here. How are you guys doing? I hope you are living well. You're staying safe and having a good old time as the NFL playoffs are wrapped up, and it's all about the Super Bowl extravaganza tonight. So we're going to get into a little bit of that. NBA is yet to disappoint. All kinds of fun stuff. We'll get to rag on the guys that are supposed to be good and talk about the ones that are surprises. We're going to have some fun. Whoa, what was that? Holy cow, we got alerts coming in. Messing up with the audio. Holy cow, we're going to have some fun though. Moose is back in the building, and that's all that really matters. So without further ado, let's do what we do at DSR2. I am Scrappy. Here is your host, Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we're back here for another edition of DSR2 on this glorious Wednesday here in February. Yes, it is our Super Bowl extravaganza. That's right, we're going to be talking all sorts of craziness about the Super Bowl, prop bets, foods, all sorts of craziness going on there with it as well. And again, we'll get into a little bit too is certain teams that were supposed to be great that basically brought in their guys. Well, they may not make the playoffs on there.
So amazing.
So we got all that as well. And here's a shocker. A Russian figure skater was tested positive for a banned drug. Oh.
What? Why are we having these goddamn Olympics? Can anybody tell me?
Why is Russia even allowed to play in these Olympics?
I don't even know why we're having them. I don't know why Russia's allowed in them. I don't know what's going on. We didn't get a gold medal until some snowboard cross, which I didn't even know was a thing. I knew they had the half pipe. I did not know they called it snowboard cross.
Yeah, it's like a dirt track under, but snow, and that's like kind of motocross, but snowboards. Actually, that is pretty cool to watch. So yes.
So anyway, that's the only gold medal that we have, as far as I know, and I just don't. Quite frankly, I just don't. I don't even get it. I'm not a big, you know me with the whole, it's so corrupt. I can't even get into watching some of the nonsense. Like, dude, come on. Some of the games are the dumbest thing. And then things that you think would be in there, they take right out.
Oh, yeah. But again, why is China hosting it again on there is beyond me.
Well, let's go to ground zero of, COVID Central.
COVID Central, and I don't know.
Were they hanging out at the Wuhan market? Is that where it's at? They should just have it at the Wuhan market.
Well, that's actually warmer than on there. But yeah, first of all,
that's where they should have
let's have it at Ground Central. And I don't know, a country that's got notoriously bad human rights.
I mean, there's a million to one reasons not to go there.
Yes.
Why? And really, I could give you a million one reasons why not to even have the stupid thing at this point. And I get these young athletes that work their whole lives to get to this point, and they may not get another chance. I get all that, and I feel for that percentage of athletes or people. But come on, man. It's such a farce. The Olympics is just such a farce in every way, shape, or form. So I could absolutely, go on a tangent on like just some of the sports and maybe next week we won't have shit to talk about, but or whatever. But
yeah, we will.
We better have the Super Bowl, so there better be something we're talking about. But I mean, I don't know, man. I can't get down with it. I'm like more interested in what's her name from Iowa, shooting the lights out while Beckers is injured and taking all the spotlight. Imagine those two going at it.
Yes.
Who's that young lady? I forget her name now. All of a sudden, I'm having more fun watching women's college basketball than I am watching
that girl from, what was it on there? Yeah, the girl from,
her name now.
I know,
Iowa.
Or something.
Yeah, I think it is Parker.
Yeah,
right.
Which it was actually, you watched that game the other night, was Iowa and Michigan. That was a great freaking game.
Dude, and she put it on them too, man.
As bad as Michigan's men's team is, the women's team's
is that good. But she put it on them, man. She was not afraid of that squad whatsoever, and she played well against them. And it's just one of those things, man, where I can find stuff there. Like, don't sit here and tell me that like I'm not. Oh, what do you mean? You're not even trying to find anything on in the Olympics. I got all kinds of cool stuff. Well, if I'm finding these, I was the one that told y'all about Paige Beckers.
Yeah.
I mean, she got hurt this year, but I told you about her last year before anybody even knew who she was. And I'm sure you guys have probably seen her before she hit Michigan. But we got I had heard of her, and I was like, you know what? No, she's only shining because Paige Beckers ain't playing. And then I watched her play Michigan. I went, oh no, damn, this chick's good.
Yeah, she's good.
This chick's legit. So, so everybody learns, right? But it's not like I'm not looking for something good in it. It's not like I'm going out of my, it's not like you go. I don't know if women's collegiate basketball is high on the watch list for.
Well, it has to be if you watch that Michigan State-Wisconsin game last night. I would rather watch women's basketball on there than that game again.
All right.
Oh, my God. There's been some terrible games to watch, in college hoops this year. It's just absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, and the teams that are supposed to be good are not. I mean, there's been a lot of not so good teams that you would expect to be better.
Well, Michigan was pre-ranked number 4 in the country. They're terrible.
Yeah, they're
terrible.
They're not.
You know what? There's not. This is, and we'll get into it later in the on there in a month of that, especially when it gets closer to March Madness. If there's any team on there that you can have a Cinderella get to a finals on there, this is the year. Because there's not a dominant team out there.
No, there isn't. It doesn't feel like it.
It looks like right now, it's going to be Gonzaga, UCLA, and Baylor all over again.
Well, it's one of those things where, like, you're going to have a couple of the usual names, but I feel like you're going to have more names that you're not used to seeing than ever before.
Oh, yeah.
And not just like a Cinderella that wins it, but, like, I think you're going to see more teams in the tournament that you're not used to seeing in the tournament than any other time.
You'll see a lot. I'm feeling you may see a decent amount of mid-majors make the Sweet 16 or Elite 8.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not even getting into depth, sure. because by pure numbers alone, that's more likely.
Yeah.
So, because I just think you're going to look, if you got a field of how many teams, 64 teams or whatever it is, 60.
Well, you got to play in, so it's 67 or 68 teams that make it.
So, out of that field, I could see, a good 40%. You could see a 30 or 40% turnover easy.
Oh, God, yes.
And so,
especially, because we look on there.
And then now you're talking 30 different teams that you're not used to seeing in this tournament.
Well, the ACC, we just look on there. There's only one decent team in the ACC.
Which used to be dominant.
They used to be on there. It was the best basketball conference in the country.
Sure.
Not this year.
Nope. I mean, COVID's done a lot of weird things to these teams over the last couple of years, but this is going to be a different year. And I'm actually kind of excited to kind of see what goes on. I mean, I know Karen from accounting is going to smoke us all, but going by mascots and colors and shit.
That's it. You know what we got to do is just let her turn her picks in and just copy them and just change it at the last second, one or two.
Yeah, just a couple of the obvious ones.
The obvious ones. Yeah. Do you want Gonzaga's going to make it to the Final Four? I'm going to just basically, she's got them losing in the first weekend. No, that ain't happening.
Yeah, right. Just a couple of adjustments to Karen's model here, and we might have something.
We could take out Karen from accounting for once and for all.
Oh, God, I just can't wait. No.
Freaking bitch.
That's the best thing about March Madness, though, is just playing around with that. And see, to me, because we're always so brutally wrong, it's to see how bad it is, really. Because we talk about bracket busting, getting busted in the first 5 minutes a game starts, like, you get through the first set of games or whatever, and it's already bracket busted. I think we do that headline on the show more than we don't.
Yes.
So I've gotten to the point where I just think it's funny, like, how bad is this really going to be? And this year, like you said, the Karen bracket would probably be dead nuts this year, like, all the way to the very end. Not just better, but all the way to the end. Karen gets the immaculate effing bracket.
Yeah.
And gets
every freaking year.
And gets the money. So, I don't know. But, yeah. And then Moose, they had the glorified touch football game, and all the big hits happened at the bar before the game.
Yes.
And I mean, it's like, how can we not just go and play this little game where you don't even really play and you just go and have a good time? Can we not get in trouble? Kamara's not known for getting in trouble.
No, again, that's what I said. Is of all people, it's like a total shocker with him because you never hear anything.
Yeah, you don't. I don't remember hearing anything. I don't remember anything in college, but I could be wrong. But I don't remember hearing anything or thinking no. So it's just kind of odd. So to me, it's one of those things where somebody got tested or pushed and. Guys have been drinking and partying for a minute, and one thing led to another, and you're gonna get put down. Like Moose, if it was me and you went to the bar and something went down, we'd all just got kicked out, and that'd have been the end.
That would have been the end of that.
Yeah, but somebody recognized him, and that's why they came and popped him after the game. So Kamara, I think it was like $1 million bond or some dumb shit, which he could afford to pay, but they made him sit in there overnight.
Yeah.
Well, they do that because, like, if they give him a charge where there's no bond, then you have to wait for an arraignment judge to come in and give you a bond so you can get out. And it's like, oh, that's bullshit. But they do that. I've been held for the same reason in a former life. So I am not surprised that they did him like that. But that just feels like, yeah, something happened in a bar that wasn't probably that big a deal, and because of who he is,
somebody made it a bigger deal than what it was.
Someone made a bigger deal than it was. That's what I feel like. I could be way wrong. Maybe he's a monster and we don't know it, but I just don't feel that's the case. I just feel like, this guy probably pushed him and he went somewhere that he wouldn't normally go. And like I said, if it was me and you, it probably wouldn't have been a big deal. We'd all just got kicked out of the bar and sent the fuck home. But because of him, the cops came to the stadium afterwards, arrested him, and he had to post bond to get out, pending some assault charge, I'd imagine. But I don't really know. I didn't really read the story on it. I just kind of heard him chatting about it on the radio. I'm like, come on, really? But I just know the legal system. I know how it works. So Unfortunately, I've learned the hard way. But that I can't imagine will be a big deal. He'll get a non-reporting expungement if he doesn't jack up his non-reporting probation type scenario.
Or it could come out there was all BS and things like
That's what I think it'll come out to be. This guy started shit with him and he defended himself or something. I don't know. To me, if you're a marquee athlete, there is zero benefit from getting anywhere near anybody for any reason physically. It's just there's no benefit to it. And all eyes are on the NFL all the time, but especially now, Moose, because you were talking about earlier, they want to investigate more into all these emails and stuff. And the NFL's hell to the no.
Yeah, the NFL is now going to they're going to do the investigation on the Washington Commanders on there, the whole Daniel Snyder on there with it. So yeah, initially it came out I think earlier today, and they said, "Oh, Washington's it's going to be a team handling the investigation," and I guess Goodell's like, "No, the NFL's we're going to be doing it."
Yeah, this is the whole thing with the NFL doing it. The NFL is going to filter that stuff too. They don't want their own. This is a club.
Yeah,
and an exclusive one, and so they don't want its members. Negatively reflecting upon them. So what is going to happen here is the NFL is going to do their thing, and if they feel that it's egregious and that it's eventually going to get out, they will out it and act like the saviors, even though they're part of it, and they will censor it. It's kind of like when the government, oh yeah, Freedom of Information Act, and then you go get it and everything's redacted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything's got black lines through it. It's like, well, how is it the Freedom of Information Act if everything's redacted? It's
right.
It's the freedom of nothing. I didn't get anything. I got a bunch of fucking black lines.
First of all, it's the NFL. This is not the Pentagon on there.
But that's what's going to happen. They're not going to. They're going to work. They're going to put stuff. Push stuff under the rug and everything else because the league is so dirty. Anything, guys, and I don't want to make it sound like, oh, the league's corrupt and nobody else is. No, everything that makes money is corruptible. Yes. Everything. And the higher the dollar amount you're talking about, the more corruption involved, period. And who makes more money than the NFL? I don't know, God. But other than that, nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Bezos, because he's taking down bridges in Holland.
I mean, there's two,
Netherlands to get his mega yacht through.
But, I mean, it's just no. So the NFL is a very exclusive club that makes a ton of money, and they're not going to sacrifice that. So they will find a patsy, and they will set it up how they want us to see it. That's my conspiracy theory.
Yep.
Yeah.
So also coming out of the NFL, must have been Goodell doing his annual State of the NFL on there. Comes out there with the most. Oh
boy!
The NFL fell short in terms of increasing the number of minority head coaches in this offseason.
Oh, dude, they fall short in that department, like they fall short in other departments at home. Okay, I mean the NFL is horrible. I just got done telling you it's a club, man. It's a good old boys club. Yes. Don't get it twisted, dude. You're talking 70% African American players. And what is it like? Two coaches? Three?
Two. Tomlin and now Lovie Smith.
Dude, no way. How many executives?
The one I know for sure is us in Detroit, Brad Holmes.
You know what I'm saying? And how many owners?
None.
Okay, that was an easy one.
That's an easy one. And again, you're not going to get any changes in this till you actually get a minority owner.
Well, and we talked that was my call. We talked about that last week. That I don't feel that any of this stuff really will affect change, though it should. Because we always kind of get back to the status quo. I almost had, it's kind of like the George Floyd thing. When everything went down, I had a feeling in my body like it almost felt like we were going to affect change this time.
Yes.
And I think it felt different. And in the end, we kind of just settled back where we were. I think we had an influence, and I think this generation will remember that influence, but I don't believe that it is anywhere near. I mean, it really didn't it didn't do what it needed to do.
No.
And we're nowhere near where we need to be. And the discussions that were supposed to have been had, that should have been had since this, have been fought. We've been fighting to have against having these conversations. And we talked about it, Moose, last week. Until we have conversations that make people uncomfortable, shit ain't gonna change.
Right. It's
that simple. And we need to affect change. And I think, honestly, we talk about, different influencers and influences and, people, quote unquote, manipulated by media or whatever. But no, it's not about that. It's about representation.
Yes.
And so, like, dude, we have to have that. And until that comes around, like, you can say whatever you want. They were going to pull, what's his name? Who is the quarterback? He's retired a couple of years ago. They're going to pull him out to be a coach.
Josh McCown.
Josh McCown? How in the hell was he real? How is that a real option?
Well, I can't see how, because the guy's never had any head coaching.
He's the leading candidate in any clubhouse. This tells me what kind of club we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this club is like, I mean, do they all get together for the NFL meetings in their hoods and torches? I mean, fuck, dude. Excuse my language, but I mean, come on, man.
Seems like it.
Because there's nobody, dude. Just look around of people of color. There's so many different. As from a player, and where are you drawing everybody else from?
Yeah, you fired like three, whatever the coaches that were fired. A couple of them were African American, but you didn't replace them with African American. I mean, Lovie Smith. God,
dude, that was like, dude, I feel like it's a consolation prize. Like, oh, sorry, my bad. We'll at least bring in Lovey then. Okay,
we'll bring in Lovey. Yeah, Lovey, you got the gig on it. First of all, you already had a minority on there with David Culley. And again, here's a guy down there that worked his whole way through his, basically assistants and everything on there, and gets his gig. For them being terrible like this wasn't his fault.
Well, look, he won. Now this is right here. Now we're gonna.
He won a couple games they had no business winning.
I'm gonna tell you something here. We're gonna get into a conspiracy that, in my opinion, is like legitimate here. He won. This is the problem. The team is bad, and he won.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? When they hire the black coaches, it's not to win.
Right.
It's not. It's not to win. Like, that's why this is so disgusting to me. When they do hire a coach, it's because they want to tank.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. I mean, only a couple.
And then when guys overachieve, they get fired.
Right.
Like Lovie Smith. Like who was here? Caldwell.
Yes.
Like Caldwell. How come Caldwell doesn't have a job? He got us to the playoffs 3 different years. He's been to the Super Bowl. He had a 14-12 team. I don't want to hear about his in-game decision-making.
Yeah.
He's a better candidate than, 60% of the guys you got on squads now.
I would say is Caldwell, of everybody that was hired in this offseason, Caldwell's better than every single one of them.
How does he not get a job? How does Bieniemy not get a job?
How does Byron Leftwich not have a job?
I mean, come on, man.
Terrell Austin, how come he doesn't have a job?
They should have picks. Some of these guys... Leftwich should be able to pretty much go to any team he wants.
Right.
He should be the hot new hire.
Yes.
But they want Josh McCown?
Doug Peterson?
Dude, nobody wanted him when he could play. What makes you think he could coach? And even if he can coach, how about he starts coaching somewhere first?
Right.
You don't get an NFL job right out the gate.
He's
never coached Pee-wee.
No.
Nothing.
He was supposed to coach his kids' high school this year.
And what happened there? Supposed to. He didn't. Why?
Because they were going to hire him as a head coach.
Yeah, whatever. Bullshit. Bullshit, man. It's crazy, dude. No way.
Well, yeah, here's what's going on there. But yeah, I mean, you look on there to the hires. I mean, most of these hires are absolute garbage.
So to me, the fix is in, man. I don't know how you change it, dude. I don't know how you change it. And I feel for a guy that's willing to give up his entire career to try to affect change when in my heart of hearts knows it ain't gonna fucking work.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna work. We went through the George Floyd thing in the end. It didn't really work.
No.
It didn't really set in. And what you think this is gonna be bigger than that when you're talking about a boys club? Nah. Dude, you just sacrificed yourself. I appreciate you. I love you to death, dude, but you did it for nothing.
Yes.
And unless you know somebody or you can rally the troops, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, you needed to get support before you did this.
Yes. Well, I'm with it. I do believe Bieniemy is going to get a head coaching gig. I believe he's taking over Kansas City when Andy Reid steps down.
Well, maybe, but how's he not getting legitimate fucking offers?
Yeah.
Because he could go somewhere and go. How many times did Josh McDaniels leave and come back?
Well, we know he got what the
How many of those guys from the Patriots have left and came back?
Well,
come on, man. Andy Reid ain't going nowhere until they run him out of town. He's still fairly young for a coach. If the guy's out there with a blown Achilles running fools down for being stupid in practice, then this dude is going to be coaching for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He's got Mahomes. Where's he going? So what are you going to do, Bieniemy? Wait until you're 90 to get your first coaching gig? No, cut your teeth somewhere else and come back if you fail.
Right.
Because the job will be waiting for you.
Did you hear the Patriots hired Joe Judge as their special teams coach?
What the fuck ever.
Again, it's the typical thing. Let's bring everybody back on here. The only ones that want New England assistants are New England.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
It's
the
because in
guys
the
playing-
end, they all have to follow through the same filter.
right.
In the end, they all got to go through the same filter. And if you don't follow these, whatever the magic thing is, then it doesn't work. And those guys fill that. Look, there are great bands that don't have great individual musicians as the band.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the White Stripes. Not very good individually.
But together,
Together,
they create some magic.
they make good music.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The Violent Femmes, individually,
Not good.
nah.
But together,
Together?
awesome.
Amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Not everybody can be Dre.
Yeah, not everybody is Eddie Van Halen. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
like you can, and then it's like Steve Vai. Steve Vai could play great. Every band he was ever in was garbage.
God, yes.
Every band he was ever in was straight garbage, and that guy can play the guitar like you've never seen anybody play before.
Right.
And
Then he goes, yeah.
Every band is
It goes
garbage.
with David Lee Roth's
Garbage.
solo career. Garbage.
I mean, how does that not? How David Lee Roth? He makes everything work.
No.
Not Steve Vai.
That was the most disappointing concert I've ever went to. Was the Van Halen 1984 tour.
Yeah,
Because everybody had a solo.
Sure.
We knew Eddie had to have his
Yeah,
guitar
right,
solos.
right.
That's fine. Then Alex had to have his drum solo, whatever. Then Michael Anthony had to have his bass solo. Okay. And then David Lee Roth's going to go swing around his swords and do his karate bullshit. Hey, pal, I didn't see here to see fucking Elvis swing around his swords. I came in here to see Hot for Teacher, motherfuckers. And you better play the goddamn song. Jesus Christ. That's like going to see Foreigner, which is a cover band because there's nobody original in there. We don't need a frickin',
Oh, that's good stuff, though.
8-minute version.
But that's what I'm saying. So all those parts, they go out on their own and they're garbage,
Yes.
but they come back and they're good. So it is what it is, man. But that it's the Shanahan coaching tree. It's like all those guys that came from I'm not sure they came from those branches of those trees. Those are the ones that all are successful when they go
Shanahan's
out.
part of he's part of Mike Shanahan is all part of the Bill Walsh coaching tree.
Right.
And that's dude's the one that's basically him and the Parcells are the only two branches where guys have left and became successful.
Sure.
I mean, Bill Walsh, you had George Seifert, who won a Super Bowl with Frisco. Went to Carolina, got the team to the NFC championship game. Had a couple on there. And then you got obviously Holmgren, who won a championship with Green Bay, got to another Super Bowl with Seattle. Andy Reid's part of that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So it's just one of those things. It's not like, some cats can do that. Some environments foster that. Others don't. It's just as simple as that. So But man, I don't know. I'm not sure. We got off on a tangent there, so
Yes.
we were talking about these coaches and whatever. But I don't know if they're ever gonna get this right. And I would have liked to seen Flores like get all these coaches behind him, and then them stand up and like say like go to the media with attorneys. Like don't come in and start accusing it. Like no, you need to guerrilla warfare, right? Like get everybody that you can together because you don't have a lot of numbers, but get as many as you can get, and then just like hit them with it. Don't let them know you're coming. Sneak up on them, and so I just think that they handle it wrong. If I was him, not that this makes any difference or would have mattered, but I would have gotten as many of these coaches to kind of behind me. Not just black coaches, but anybody that can feel what I'm saying and will support kind of what I'm talking about. And then I get with, I know they don't have like a coaches association or like union or anything like that, but I think I would get with like somebody and I would try to work this out a different angle. Maybe even if I felt like if I couldn't do it, we couldn't have a conversation, then I would go to the media with it. I'd get a civil rights attorney and I'd get some people that would back me up from maybe not go out publicly, but maybe from a legal standpoint, come in and say, yeah, no, I saw this, I heard this. And maybe he did. Maybe some people said, hey, man, if you pull me into court, I'll say what, I saw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's that confident. But, I mean, if you don't have that, if you don't have corroboration of what you're saying, it's going to be so hard to prove intent. Even though it's so obvious to all of us.
Oh, it's so obvious.
It's so obvious to all of us, but how do you prove that intent? And the Rooney Rule is just the same thing. And they can say, yeah, that's exactly what we were doing. Oh, you just gave us an interview just to satisfy the Rooney Rule. Well, yeah. Yeah, that's it. You're right. That's the rule.
I think
I just have to interview you. I don't have to give you the job. The rule doesn't say I have to give anybody a job. They say I have to interview you.
Just hit interview, a token interview.
Yeah. And so they can admit it and it don't matter because technically that's all it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. There's nothing that says that you have to hire them, you have to make them a legitimate candidate or make them your final 2 or 3 or whatever. None of that. It doesn't say none of that. It just says you need to interview X amount. And it doesn't matter if it didn't say it had to be a good interview.
No.
So, yeah, it's a sham interview, sure. But, I mean, the alternative is no interview.
Right.
So, I don't know what to do at this point. That's what sucks. And that's what we talked about with the Rooney Rule.
What they're going to have to do, and
years
again, I think the
before.
only way it really changes is if you get some minority ownership on there.
That's my thing. I want them to yank a team. I could pick 2 right now. You could yank because the owners are fuckwads.
I can name 3 right off the top of my head.
So why aren't we doing that? And because I'm pretty sure like Jay-Z and LeBron could get together and buy a team.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure they could do it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even really need to get like some other financial group involved. They could probably just do it on their own.
Yeah, you can get
You know
some
what I
sort of a group on there.
They wouldn't even need to, though. Yeah. What are you talking about? You're talking LeBron and Jay-Z don't have enough.
Get LeBron, Jay-Z, and Tiger Woods together and buy a team.
Dude, no, I want LeBron and Jay-Z to get together because I know they've worked together before. And Jay-Z does do the sports thing. And so I want to get them all up in there. And they can buy a team. And then I want Tiger and, I don't care who. To come in and buy on one of these other teams. Because you can yank Washington and Miami right now. And I wouldn't blink. And Houston, yeah.
Those are the 3.
That fucking jackass that they got fucking running that joint.
Oh yeah, and I mean, yeah, I would take the Texans. I take the Texans and the Washington Commanders first, and then I go after Miami.
So so there's, and I would just I'd put it in a situation where let's have some minority ownership because if you've got 2, it's only 2 out of 32. So think about that. But at least you have some representation.
Right.
There's none. There's zero representation because because this is what happens. We talked about a little bit last week is that you hire who you know and who you're around and who you trust and who you know will work the way you want and do what you want. And in a lot of cases, those people look like you.
Yeah.
And so until you have, like we said, until you have ownership, you're not going to see a lot of minorities in these things. Now, I have a habit of when I had hiring control and firing control at one of my jobs, I tend to hire minorities, to be honest. I come from a mixed family and I just tend to, I don't know why, I just tended to hire more minorities. Quite frankly, I think I was the only white guy actually there. Mm-hmm. I had a couple Arabic guys, a couple Mexican guys, and then mostly black guys. So and I had 30 dudes at one point. So, yeah, no. And I think maybe 2 of the other guys were white. That when I was at my max at 30 guys, there was 3 or 4 of us. And then the rest were all minorities. And it's hey, I don't care. You come in, you work, you bust your ass. You come in every day and everybody's cool and we have a good job site. Then everything's cool, right? I mean, you're capable of doing your job? What? I don't know. I don't get it. So, and so, to me, it's so obvious. It's the same thing. Even where I work now for my day job, I'm kind of stoked every once in a while when I see, because we don't have too many people of color in our company. It's kind of a white collar world, and we just don't have that many people. They're none in my division. And it's and nobody that I deal with. So I think we've got a carpet cleaning division or whatever that carries most of our minority employees. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Isn't that all the different things that this company offers? That's where I find the minority employees. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's obvious. I walk around this world and everybody I drop the white privilege word and get shot down and murdered for it. But look, that's because y'all live in it every day. When you wallow in your own shit, you don't smell it. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know. But you live in it every day. I walk around and go, oh, because I came from a background where it was a little bit more even. And then I get out in the corporate world and some of these other, and it's no. We do all these other things, and that's where I find the minority employees, that particular division. So I don't know, man. Crazy. I don't think any of it's a coincidence. Nobody in upper management, nobody in my division. So, and to be honest, I've been to 3 other locations throughout the state. Nothing. So I think only our place is the only one. Ours is the only location. Pretty wild when you start breaking it down. And it's I bet if you guys did that and you looked at your place, depending on where you're at, you might see that line, right? If you work out of Myers, you might notice that all the minority workers are doing, the menial jobs. When you start looking up at management, you start seeing less and less of these of people of color, dude. Just look at it. It's the same thing. It's no different than what's going on here. My job, your job, the sports world, it's all a microcosm of what reality is. And unfortunately, we live in a place where a good portion of our population is considered a minority, even though that doesn't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't even make sense. If you think from a population standpoint, the numbers are much closer. It's only a minority because of who's in control of everything. And it's just, I don't know, man. This stuff needs to change, and the NFL is just a microcosm of that. But I think once again we go back to that whole thing of a George Floyd type incident doesn't have impactful change. What's he gonna muster?
Yeah.
And that is a sad thing to be saying. So I don't know. So I want to get off of this topic at this point because it's one of those things where it turns into a downer. Where's the upside to this thing? The NFL is just going to brush it and say there was nothing there. All the white fans are going to say, "You're damn right, there wasn't nothing there. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about." I could say all the things that I just said to anybody, and they're just not even going to see it. It's like, look around, do the math. All your players are here. They're in the entertain me level of the job, right? Here, you're here to make me money and entertain me and make me happy, and that's what you're here for. So do that, and that makes up a huge percentage, and then that doesn't. That is a shitty bootleg belt he's got on there. I mean, the one that Ron made isn't that great either, but the bootleg's even shittier. He just stormed out. Sorry, I got caught by shiny things in my eyes.
So,
but anyway, we'll move on.
We'll move on there. Get on with it. We've got the prop bets on there. We've got we'll definitely get into the halftime show.
Yes, the best one in my lifetime.
Everybody,
there's this great concert on Sunday, and there's going to be a football game played before and after it. Did you know that? This awesome concert, and it'll just have like 2 little mini football games, one before and one after.
Under social media complaints about certain people complaining about the halftime show.
Everybody who complains about the halftime show can, eat a big fat bag of dicks. Everybody, all of you, because even if it isn't the greatest performances ever, they're not going to shit the bed. I guarantee you. Oh God, no! They're definitely not going to shit the bed. So if these guys go out there and put on a good show, which is not shitting the bed, then I don't know what else to say, because it's a turning point. You've not had somebody like this on. Remember when 2 Live Crew was banned from this country?
Yes.
And now we have, the founder of NWA and his crew.
Yes.
Doing the most mainstream televised anything in the history of humankind.
We're getting old.
To me, it's amazing. I find
now
I know why people, because I always used to joke about it when I was a rapper. I'm like, what am I going to do? Be a 60-year-old rapper? I'm like, can I do this forever? And everybody's like, well, why not? I mean, it's just a music, and people play music in forever, and just because play late into their life, and just because it's hip hop or it's rap, why would it matter? And I'm like, I don't know, it just seems weird. Like, what am I going to be talking about?
I mean, even my girls are excited about. I go, so you excited about it? All of a sudden, Allison goes, "Heck yeah, it's Snoop Dogg."
Yeah. I was going to say, these guys are still hanging out, and they got the longevity. Yes, you're talking guys that are almost 60 years old, and they're going to go out here and do their rap stuff, and it's I love it. I wish I was out there doing it myself. I haven't performed in years, and I've been writing music and putting stuff out, but I haven't performed in years, and it would be fun. So I get why they get to do it on the biggest stage, really, that is to be offered, and that's the Super Bowl halftime, because of how many people watch. Oh, look at that! Switchblade Jay White is here. There's a little Forbidden Door action. That's not who they were talking about, I hope. Oh, he didn't come to help. Oh, that's good. Well, he did, but didn't. Interesting. Segues are for children. We're watching. Got some pro wrestling in the background. I work for wrestling companies.
So yeah, I mean,
gotta watch wrestling.
I'm excited about this. I mean, yes, all the halftime shows is on this one. Dude,
this is gonna be out. So this is to me.
But the funny is, you hear all these news sports guys on there, and they're all they're all your age. I'm on there, maybe a little bit. But they're like, dude, it's like the music by youth, and it's at the Super Bowl.
I know.
My God! I mean,
it's amazing.
Ryan Armani, who's just giddy as a scrub. He's giddy.
Well, yeah, he's on me and him are Facebook friends, and yeah, we are the same age, from the same area, pretty much. I mean, total. As far as geographic, Michigan. And yes. Well, the thing is about Dre and Snoop and Marshall is they transcended cultural background,
Oh, yeah.
all that stuff. So like suburban kids listen to it. Of course, all the inner city
Yeah,
kids
I mean,
listen to it. It didn't matter what your ethnicity was. You were into it. So a very diverse group, that they reached at that time. And it was huge. And now we're all grown up and in charge of everything.
Yeah. And they said is you got
You
Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, and they said, remember, that's 43 Grammys wins on one stage at the same time.
Well, that's the other thing you got to think about. You got to think about, how did this happen? Everybody wants to bitch about it, man. The proof is in the pudding. 43 effing Grammys.
Yeah.
I mean, that's no joke right there.
Oh hell no.
Yeah, you thought Brady was the GOAT. He's only got 7.
Yeah, they got 43 between the 4 of them or
So-
5 of them.
So yeah.
Oh my god! I mean, dude, I'm like, oh yeah,
Well,
go
this-
all out.
Well,
I
this
don't-
changes everything for me. So if you, and I don't know about you guys, but if I was, and we don't do it too much, but me and you, we used to go to like, kind of chill parties and stuff like that and watch the game. I never liked to host one. Not that I didn't mind hosting. It's just, with work the next day and having to deal with all the nonsense from, it's a little much. But no, I don't want a party. I don't want a bunch of people here. I'm not
I wanna
going to
pay
a party.
attention.
I want to sit back. I'm not even going to, unless there's a drive going downfield in the final seconds of the half, I'm taking my pee break before the half. Like, I'm going to, in that
Yes.
commercial or whatever, because I'm not missing that halftime.
Yeah, it's going to take a couple minutes to get the stage set up, but yeah, as soon as that's done, and all of a sudden that last play,
Yeah.
I'm running to the bathroom. Get the fuck out of my way.
That's what I'm saying.
I gotta go do it. There's a bathroom downstairs. Go use that.
Yeah,
here.
I'm hitting the bathroom. I'm getting my snacks refreshed. I'm getting all my stuff
Yeah.
back because I'm getting right back to this halftime. Where normally I would go and have a cigar and refresh and use the bathroom and get a thing
Not
and
this
then and then meander back when the second half started. But no, not this time.
Nope.
So yeah, I'm all about it. It's gonna be fun. I think my expectations are high, but I'm like, all right. They're not gonna crap the bed, so even if they're not super great, it'll still be cool to see them out there, and it still should be decent.
I have a feeling it's going to be really, really, really good. I don't think in these guys,
To me too, I feel like there's gonna be some cool
they're
surprises.
going to want to
too.
make a point that they're going to put on a halftime show that's going to basically blow people's socks off because they know, listen, we've got a chance here to change everything.
Yeah. Well, they do because the perception is, you can't take risks with certain artists because of what could possibly happen. So it's just, which is bullshit, just because you have a couple of, there it is. Yep. I called it. I knew it'd be this dude. This guy got bounced from WWE and came here. There was a big thing going around. The owner was talking about he had a new announcement of somebody that was going to come through the forbidden door and then and slam the door shut behind him when he came in, and he just they're using the limitless gimmick. They got all his stuff, everything, so his non-compete is done, and Keith Lee is officially all elite, and this dude is a monster who can do flippy dippy shit if he wants to. I mean, this guy's a big man.
He is a big man.
And he can do flippy dippy shit if he wants to. That's how good he is. He's super athletic. And he's got like the Rock's charisma. So the fact that everybody's so bent out of shape that Vince McMahon fucked this one up. Because he thinks because he's got like a belly. But it doesn't matter. He's a big, strong, athletic dude. And he's fast for his size, dude. He's insane. And
He's wrestling against some guy who goes about $140.
Yeah, that dude's like my size. He's like $155, $160, and he's gonna get bounced around. This dude's gonna throw him up in the air, and he's gonna fucking smash him up. But see, yeah, he's messing around. See, a little ode to Vince, because Vince wanted him in a singlet so he didn't look as fat and all kinds of dumb shit, and then ended up cutting him because he didn't think he was the But this guy's an animal. So it's cool that he's back as we talk a little pro wrestling here in our sports show. But I'm glad to see him on television. There's no reason why this guy's anywhere but on TV. But look at this. He's doing this because the crowd's singing his shit. Guarantee it. We don't have the audio up, but I guarantee it. That's what's happening. The crowd's that hype. That dude, he'd pick his teeth with that kid. I mean, look at this thing. Watch this. He's gonna destroy him. Look, he's like bigger. Look at this.
Oh my god!
I mean, that kid's smaller than his left leg, dude. Look at this thing. This is crazy. I told you he was gonna throw him all over the place. Wait, I mean, the height on this thing. I mean, Jesus, that's insane. Yeah, well, the kid's gonna have to get his stuff in, and Keith Lee will sell. But yeah, he's not. You're not budging this guy. He's gonna, and this dude can move. Look at this. Look at this guy. Ugh. Yeah, he's just got the charisma. He's got it all, man. I mean, whatever. I don't know why Vince didn't, because he's got a belly. You know what we call that in the hood? We call that a baller belly.
Yeah.
You had that belly because you was balling. You had the money to eat what you wanted. And he still move and do what he can do. Who gives a shit?
Man, don't hurt me.
Yeah, that guy's a monster. Yeah, he's just a big dude. He's whatever, 6'7" or whatever. Look at this guy. Ugh. Just flatten the young guy.
All right, so we got on there. So yeah, we got. Looks like CJ Uzma says he's going to play in the Super Bowl, even though he's got a sprained MCL.
Yeah. Wrap it up. Call it a day. I'm getting out there. This is the biggest game of my career.
Higby says he's going to get into it on there, so we'll get into
everybody that can physically get in is going to do their best to get in. This is the game you sell out for.
Oh yeah,
without a doubt. There's no way, short of just having something broken and can't go. Everybody finds a way to get into this game, even if it's only for a play or two.
I mean, even if it's broken, I mean, I remember the Super Bowl back in 1979. Jack Youngblood played the Super Bowl with a broken fibula.
Oh yeah, these guys don't care.
He was like, "I'm playing."
I see guys with broken. Dude, we've seen guys with broken feet and broken hands still play. Dude, guys have cut off fingers so they can play.
Just take it off.
Just take it off. So like these guys, they don't care. They don't care.
This is, to win it all on it. And again, if Stafford, and again, if Stafford gets this win on there, this basically immediately solidifies his career.
Okay, check it. I got to shout out to some Detroit fans and some local radio show guys. Y'all go fuck yourself. You came in here and whined and cried, let Barry go. Let Barry go somewhere else so he can win. He'll never win here. Let him go. And they wouldn't. And he retired early, and we were all pissed. Then Calvin came along. Same deal. Trade me. Let me go.
Right.
We can't win here. And they wouldn't. And you cried, let Calvin go. Please let him go. Stafford's the first one to finally get let go. And y'all are mad that he's about to win a championship?
Right.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you. We've been, dude, he has been on a shitty, he took your shit fucking team to three playoff games they had no fucking business being in. He's been the only solid thing you've had going for you for the last decade when it comes to that team.
Yes.
And he's been a top 10 quarterback doing it. You don't have to believe it. It's statistically fact.
Right.
Eat a bag of dicks. If you don't believe it, you don't. I don't know what to tell you.
I agree on this.
And now he's with a team that has got talent on it. And look what's happening. Oh, well, he's got an all-star team. Dude, he's got talent. That's all he wanted was some talent. He's got 2 receivers, a running back, and a good defense. That's all he effing wanted. That's all he wanted in Detroit, and they couldn't give it to him.
No.
And he gave you a decade.
Yes.
And he got you to the playoffs more than you ever saw before him. Ever. I don't care how, unless you're 100 years old.
Well, I think was Barry that, with the Wayne Fonts, because they went in 91, 93, 95, 97. They went to the playoffs. But
That's one more trip.
And he was the only one to get a win was that Dallas win. But yeah, Stafford goes there, gets to the playoffs. I'm there, dude, yeah, I'm going to root for him.
I don't get it.
He put up with all the
Right.
bullshit on here from this organization for a decade.
Yep. And to me, it just like oh, he just caught that dude. You said, it legitimizes his career. To me, it just proves what we all knew, or
he was a good quarterback.
That he's a good quarterback. And all you guys that called him trash when when the team lost on Sunday don't know what you're talking about. You didn't know what you were seeing. And look, we've been on the air for all of his years. Every year of his career, we've been on the air. And we've talked about this team. And early on, yes. Were we worried about him getting the porcelain doll?
Yes.
Badge of dishonor because he was injured early? It seemed like a lot. We were worried about it. We talked about it. Is he a China doll? We had a show.
Yeah.
Because everybody was calling him China doll. And it's like, well, I don't know about that. He's a tough dude. Is he injury prone? I don't know. So we had a show. Is he a China doll? No. And we were like, no, but it's like he can't keep having these injuries.
Right. He didn't. Why did he get injured? Because our offensive line was terrible.
And then that's the other thing. When you break it down, this guy's okay, dude, not everybody's Joe Burrows. Not everybody gets up from every sack all the time. I mean, eventually it's not going to work for him either.
No.
I mean, you can't get sacked 51 times in a season. 51 times. How many years can you do that? You're going to be sacked over 500 times
in a career, say 10 years.
In a 10-year career?
Yeah.
So how many times did Stafford get sacked here? Not 500 times.
No. Still 300, I bet.
Right. So imagine this guy at this rate, he's not going to be able to hold up.
I mean, he played with a broken back.
I mean, this guy gave you everything, and he never, ever bitched.
No.
He never whined. His wife was more of a headache than anything.
Yes. His wife is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's why I was like, you send that Karen to fucking L.A. Fuck that bitch.
Again, with it on there, you look at what he's doing on there.
But Stafford's a good guy, man, and he bust his ass, and he played well for our team. And
I'm going to root for him.
I want him to win. Well, it's going to hurt your team. Dude, it ain't my team. They shit the bed on that being my team a long time ago.
Why aren't we rooting for Cincinnati? Because Riley Reif's playing for Cincinnati. I'm like, yeah, great. What did Riley Reif give us?
All right. Yeah, exactly.
Again, we should have had David DeCastro.
All right.
So don't give me this shit, Riley Reif. Oh, yeah. Great.
I'm sorry, that position is not exactly the quarterback, which is like your franchise player. Let's just be real.
Yes.
That should be your top guy on every team, period.
Yeah.
And if it's not, then you're not doing it right. So
and they traded him, and we got some draft picks, and it looks like we'll see what at least the front office does on there with it. I mean, we got to get better next year. I mean, we got to make that jump up to 7 wins in that, and we'll see what they do in the offseason wise on there. But yeah, I'm going to root for damn right. I'm going to root for Stafford. Then again, I like JoJo too.
I do too.
I'm going to still root for Stafford because I think Burrows will get there again.
Sure.
Especially while everybody's cheap and they can afford everything. Trust me, the Bengals are not going to be keeping everybody. Why? Because they're fucking cheap.
Well, this is the thing. They need to do some maneuvering. They're going to keep their quarterback receiver around because they're locked in at rookie deals.
Yeah.
So those two guys will be around
for at least another 2-3 years.
So what they will do would be divert funds to that offensive line, and if they don't win, that would be what they do. Trust me. That maybe some defensive help, but they'll move towards that offensive line. They will look at this. If they lose this game because of who they're playing against, if they lose this game, they're gonna go. It's gonna be because JoJo gets thrown on his ass.
Yes,
a lot.
Aaron Donald's gonna be killing people.
So they're gonna go. Okay, we were this close to winning a championship. We were basically a guard and a tackle away from winning the championship. Let's do that.
That's what we're going to go after.
And that's in free agency and draft, whatever they got to do. So I think that's what's going to play out here. And so I agree with you in the fact that I think Burrows is one of those guys. Okay, now I don't want to put him at all these crazy high standards, but when you look at him, nothing about him stands out. Like he doesn't have like this crazy zip on the ball where it makes a wild sound or does these weird fucking things when he throws it. Like he's not none of that crazy stuff. But dude, he's unflappable.
Yes.
And he is so smooth. And he just does what he does very, very well. And he doesn't worry about anything else. And he's just seems to have a really good grip on what he can do, what he's good at, what his teammates can do, the game in general. And he doesn't come off as like overly like athletic or flashy or zippy ball. Like Brett Favre was known for being a gunslinger, and Patrick Mahomes can move and throw at weird angles, and Michael Vick was fast, and Peyton Manning was cerebral, and John Elway had a strong arm. Like all these guys, he doesn't fit in it, but like he doesn't seem to have any of that stuff. But like
everything he does
really well. But guess what? Tom Brady didn't have any of that. Joe Montana didn't have any of that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't want to put him in the same breath as those two guys because those are probably the two greatest ever. But there's a lot of guys that play that have this temperament that he has that didn't come off the fucking page as uber athletic or doing something uber crazy great. They were just really, really good at all the fundamental things that they did. And they were so good at it that nobody could touch him. And I just feel like he falls in that category. And unless he either gets too big of a head or falls off because of an injury or something, I just don't see him not getting another shot at this.
Right.
Because you even with this team that really isn't that good, he's been able to get the most out of it in his second year, which is and he came off an injury.
Yeah, an ACL injury.
And usually you have the slump there anyway. And so, like, I don't know, man.
And he didn't.
No, it's just so amazing when you really break it down.
You look on the chemistry and the rapport he's got with Jamar Chase because they're college roommate, buddies and everything with him, teammates. And he just got – but, dude, I don't know if there's been a quarterback that's kind of got this swagger.
I love that. We talked about,
but it's just this calm swagger. It's not like basically he's not overhyped and everything. He's just kind of smooth, just glides in, and he's just got this smooth swagger. I mean, he just got this. You know what? He's got all the air of confidence in him. They're like, listen, we got this.
Well, let's do this. We'll get back. We'll compare the quarterbacks. We'll break down some of that play. We got some of the prop bets. And then we still have to get into our predictions and what we think is going to happen here.
We got to talk about what people are going to cook for food-wise.
Yeah, we got to give so we got all that stuff coming. So let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll break all that stuff down, guys. Text line is open for you as well as social media, and we want some like food ideas. We'll be kicking some to you. Reciprocate. We'll have some fun with that. Anything we can get in the mix there, we'll do that. So, yeah. Let's get in on that.
We'll be back here in just a few. We are DSR2 Studio 57 Radio.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, Scrappy here to tell you about That Radio Show. Hang with me as I break down the world of entertainment with great guests, celebrity interviews, awesome games with wonderful prizes. Also, we've got the biggest library of underground hip-hop of any station on the net. You mix in a little stand-up comedy and a text line so your voice can be heard, and you got a pretty good little show. But add listener-controlled programming? Yeah, you heard me. Listener-controlled programming, where you, the listener, can decide what makes it on the air. And now you've got the greatest show ever created. So join my show, your show, our show, the people's show, That Radio Show, each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only here on Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Big D, here to tell you about Mark for Life Tattoos. Guys, this place is the cleanest, most laid-back studio in Metro Detroit, and the artists are top-notch. And if you're like me from the D, you need to stop in on Fridays for that D-Day and get your old English D for only $20. Not interested in tattoos? Mark for Life does body piercings. Mark for Life is located at 22533 Van Dyke in Warren, and the guys are there 7 days a week from noon to 9. So give them a call at 757-2222. That's 586-757-2222. Tell them Studio 57 sent you and get 20% off. So what are you waiting for? Call them now.
Hey everybody, Smokey here to tell you about Allstate Tire. With winter fast approaching, the most important thing between you and the road is your tires. So don't put your safety in just anybody's hands. Go to Allstate Tire. With new and quality used tires available, you can trust Allstate Tire for all your tire needs. You can visit them at 14208 9 Mile Road in Warren, or give them a call at 586-779-8759. Allstate Tire, your source for quality new and used tires.
What's happening, everybody? Scrappy here to tell you about Love and Life Club. Love and Life Club is a social networking club that's located at 19960 James Cousins. That's a lodge service drive between 7 and 8 Mile Road in the D. You need to stop in for $5 Fridays for great music, food, and drinks. I personally recommend the chicken. Love and Life Club is also available for rental for bachelor parties, wedding receptions, or any party for that matter. For more information, log on to www.loveandlifeclub.com. That's loveandlifeclub.com, or call D at 313-999-2824. That's 313-999-2824. That's Love and Life Club. If you're loving life, you need to be in the club.
We are taking over this broadcast for the Ultimate Underground.
Studio 57 Radio Original. You know, when you hear that sound, you're gonna have a good time, because that's the sound of the Ultimate Underground live concert webcast from the Detroit area. We go to the most famous, or should I say, infamous venues in the D, and bring the underground music scene from the streets to your computer like nobody else can. There's only one catch. You never know when and where the Ultimate Underground is going to take over a broadcast. So you need to stay tuned to Studio 57 Radio all day, every day, for clues on when and where the next Ultimate Underground may happen. Now, there's no other station on the net that's going to give you this live webcast of some of the hottest artists in the D. That's the Ultimate Underground live on your home for hip-hop, rock and metal, Studio 57 Radio, baby.
Goodbye.
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57 serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57 serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. Studio 57 is a 32-track digital recording studio that utilizes Cool Edit, Logic Pro, Shure, AKG, Sennheiser, Yamaha, Korg, Mackie, Boss, Ibanez, Fender, Fruity Loops, and many, many more to make your music pop. Experienced and friendly engineers make Studio 57 feel like you're home away from home. With beat creation, mixing, mastering, digital media conversion, and DJs for any event, Studio 57 Records is your one-stop shop for all your music entertainment needs. We have online bill pay and flexible payment schedules. That makes Studio 57 the place to be. For more information, visit Studio57records.com. That's www.studio57records.com, or call us at 586-420-3390. That's 586-420-3390, or log on to Studio57records.com. And just remember one thing, baby. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57 serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You
get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering on great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man. The stuff that goes on during our halftime conversations. Yes, the silliness. So we're going to move forward with more silliness. Welcome to DSR2, the second hour. I would appreciate you for as long as we can get you. And, of course, you can catch us all over social media, Studio 57 Radio. If you miss anything, of course, the YouTube channel is an outstanding resource. YouTube, Studio 57 Radio. You'll find us. Go there and, check out past episodes. And we're going to start knocking clips down and putting clips up there so you guys can catch us in clip form if you want to do it that way. A little best of. So that'll be coming here in 2022. So please check that out everywhere you get podcasts for DSR2. So let's get into this thing. We're going to talk about prop bets and cool recipes and crazy nonsense. We'll break down this game a little bit. We'll get our picks in, all that stuff in this action-packed hour of DSR2. So without further ado, let's do the do we do at DSR2. This is hour 2, and I am Scrappy, and here's your host, Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we're back here for the second hour of DSR2 on our Super Bowl extravaganza. That's right, we're going to get into talking about the game. We got the prop bets. We'll get more into breakdowns of the players and everything with it. We'll also talk about, we've already talked about the halftime show on there as well. Woo! On it, and we'll start breaking down that. Also, what is everybody's great food ideas for Super Bowl and that on there? What is the perfect things to eat for Super Bowl on there? Are you going to a party, or are you going to just chill out at home and just watch it at home? Because that way you can pay attention to the game, and especially the halftime show this year.
And I love you guys. You're already in on the text line, and I will get that up for all of you late bloomers. We are just having family over and rocking the taco bar gimmick. Okay. Well, you didn't say gimmick. That's me. But running the taco bar gimmick to me is not a bad deal. Like a buffet taco. That's not a bad option.
That's a really good idea.
That's a great option when you're having. And if you're if you're doing it petite with just your family or whatever, I think that's a perfect go.
You could do you can just do the ground beef. You can do a little bit of some pulled chicken, and you got it all set. And if you want to go with the barbacoa or the carne asada, you can definitely do all that on there. Nothing wrong with that.
So that is unnamed texter in the 213. So yeah, that's I'm cool with that, man. 313-307-5340 is our text line if you want to get in on your conversation. Our conversations on food and football. Also Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can catch us out on all kinds of other places, Stitcher, Spreaker, and TuneIn as well. So make sure you get us where you can get us when you can get us. We appreciate you for anything we can get out of you anytime. I appreciate you. But we're having a little bit of conversation about food, and you're not going to get any arguments from me. I'm like a fat kid at heart. I love to get into different food recipes when it comes to coming up with different stuff because I'm kind of a picky eater. So I have to find new stuff because it's hard. So like when we talk about stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good idea because I can implement that in my pickiness because especially the old lady hates it. I'm like, don't cater to me, lady. Cook whatever you want and I'll figure it out. But so this one will be a good one for me too because they do it you see it on other radio stations and shows and stuff too where they'll do food stuff for whatever reason, and this is a great reason, and there are some good recipes out there. So I've gotten some. Yeah, I think a few years ago I got the armadillo eggs from somebody that called in on a show or something like that, and I was like, oh, that sounds like a really good idea. And then I just kind of tweaked it and made my own and was like, oh, these are awesome if you do it the right way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And so, it's like, so yeah, you can come up with some really cool recipes. Some says to me, the armadillos have eggs? You can eat armadillo eggs? I'm like, armadillos don't lay eggs, motherfucker. Stop
When they
it.
curl up in a ball on it,
Yeah, they look like an egg.
I mean, you could do the armadillo eggs, if you want to go with the Scotch eggs, you do it. I mean, we've done the whole thing. I've done the sloppy joes. I've done the big monster sub sandwich.
I mean, the pizza's an easy cop out because you just have that delivered. But that's
I've
so
done
lame-o.
I've done the coney dogs on there. I've done the coney bar.
We've done that.
Got the roaster and just put a little water in it and just steam the dogs all day. And,
well, I had when I worked at the rental yard, we had a hot dog steamer. So yeah,
we
and
had
you could put the buns in there and everything.
Yeah, we had the big electric roaster and we used that.
Oh,
And
okay.
I just layer of foil and put the buns on there so the buns get steamed.
Sure.
You gotta get the buns steamed on there, and then just get the big brick of chili over at Nashville Chili, which again for you it's just a stone throw away.
Yeah, it's right down the street. Yeah,
that's always good on there. Former host Scotty Super Genius did a mac and cheese. Of course, he had to use the Bobby Flay mac and cheese recipe on there, where he spent literally $50 making mac and cheese because he couldn't just use Velveeta and cheddar. He had to use white Irish cheddar.
yeah.
Again, it was freaking outstanding.
Oh,
But dude,
sure.
it better be for 50 fucking.
Yeah, right. Well, that's what happens, man. When you really want to make something, see, everybody goes mac and cheese. What are you talking about? No, you can make some dope ass mac and cheese.
This wasn't with
It's
lobster. This is just plain mac and cheese, but the
gonna be
cheese is on
pricey.
there. He used boars and cheese and
Imagine
Irish
if he
cheddar.
did. Imagine if he put lobster or bacon or whatever in there. It would have just been that much more.
I mean, we've done everything on that. I think we've done pulled pork in it. So we're going to do wings again this year on there.
Okay.
I'm debating whether or not it's going to be freaking colder than hell on Sunday. So being it's just going to be me and
You got an air fryer, don't you?
Oh yeah, we're going to use the air fryer.
Yeah.
I was going to throw them in the smoker and smoke the wings.
Oh, that's cool. That tastes good, but I mean,
you can do it beforehand and on it. But if I was to have more people over, if we were going to go for Scott's, I would probably smoke like 60, probably like 10 pounds of wings and just bring them over.
Sure.
And just keep them warm, and then everybody can have the different flavors and that. But we're just going to do the air fryer and that with it. Weirdest one we've ever done for a Super Bowl party? Paella.
Interesting.
Which was weird because I was going out with this girl, and she made a big thing of paella, which was really good, but it was just a weird one for Super Bowl.
Yeah, I just never been thinking.
Well, I mean, it was good. It was
Sure.
really, the food was great.
It's not what you would, not a typical football food as you would think. Or at least not American football.
No.
But I've done all the typical things that I think everybody else has done. And a lot of the ones we talked about. We've done pulled pork before. I've even done ribs because it was more intimate. So I just threw a couple of slabs of ribs on, and then I did what we call cooler corn, which is basically you just boil your water and then fill the cooler up with boiled water and throw your corn in there. And do that just before you start anything, and it'll be ready for you. Yeah, it's amazing how hot that stays, and it cooks in there pretty good.
I mean, if I was someplace,
and we did corn on the cob, we cut them up small, and we did a bunch of that, and we put all that stuff out, and then had all the little sides and everything, and we did that, and it was just basically my family of 4, and I think 3 or 4 other people came by, a buddy, and a couple of friends, and a couple of extended family members, and that was it. And that was kind of nice. It was a little different. That's not something you would typically do, I think. For my family, when we get together and do big stuff, it would always, pasta was always kind of a go-to. You can put mastacholi and put it in a thing this effing big, and it's pretty hearty, and you can serve a lot of people that way. But I don't think of that as a party, per se dish. So, I'm down to hear whatever you guys got. I know there's going to be some good ones out there, but I like the taco bar idea. I think that's just because, like you said, you can put chicken, pork, beef out. You could do whatever you want. You could put all your little tomatoes
do a crock
and
pot,
lettuce.
throw a bunch of Velveeta in there, some Rotel tomatoes, and you got the cheese dip on there.
Yeah, I mean, so the options, you could have the chips and. You could hook it up different, however you want to hook it up, right? Everybody can make their own kind of thing, So, yeah, you could do the hard shell, soft shell combo and have some other chips there maybe that'll go, and like you said, some other salsas and things like that. All that shit goes.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so you can have this whole Mexican gimmick going. I think I like that idea, and so but I am a fan of tacos. I don't know anybody that's not a fan of tacos.
There's nobody that's not a fan of tacos.
If you don't like tacos, there's something wrong with you. Even if you have to get some horrible, like, I don't know, vegan taco or some dumb shit.
They were talking about on there the other day too. It's like, oh yeah, IKEA's got a 3D printed vegetarian meatball. First of all, is you can't have a vegetarian meatball.
Well, no, that doesn't
because
even
the
make
name
sense.
dictates what's in it.
It's a meatball.
It's a ball of meat.
Yes.
So if you're doing this crap with a 3D printer and it's
a vegan ball.
It's it's a vegan ball or a ball of goo.
Well, yeah, it's a
ball of goo.
It's a vegan ball, and I don't know what a vegan ball is made of. Like, how is this thing printing it? What is it, full of manna? I mean, what the fuck is it?
I have no idea.
Like, what is it fucking printing? I don't understand. A 3D printer, you feed some kind of material through it, so what the fuck are you feeding through it?
Tofu?
I mean...
A brick of tofu? And it's
like the Ark of the fucking Covenant? What the fuck is this goddamn thing?
Again, if you're having a Super Bowl party and you're doing vegan meatballs, God have mercy on your soul.
If you say the word vegan meatball without being a pompous ass, like if you're not being sarcastic, Dick, and you just say, no, seriously, vegan meatball.
And I'm going to drink my oat milk.
You need to get kicked in the nuts. It's like, no, dude, there's no such goddamn thing. It's like this kid I saw on YouTube. He goes like this. He goes, well, it's vegan milk because, it's strawberry and it's strawberry quick, you fucking ignorant fuck. It's strawberry fucking quick. It's not vegan fucking milk. So
you taking strawberry quick and mix it with freaking almond milk and say it's vegan?
It's not vegan milk. I don't know what No, it's in a quick bottle. He undid it. It's the pink bunny milk you get at the fucking gas station.
Yeah, that's milk.
And he pours it in there. He goes, it's vegan milk because it's strawberry. I'm like, you show me the udders on a strawberry, you fucking retard.
It's freaking strawberry quick. You know what? It's moo cow milk with fucking strawberry powder in it with sugar.
You dumb ass.
My God. Worst thing I ever went to.
People are so stupid, man.
I went to a freaking wedding on the 4th of July, and they were 7-day Adventists. So I was dating this girl, and it was her cousin. So I'm like, all right, we'll go to the wedding. And she goes, oh, yeah, they're 7-day Adventists. And what does that mean to me? She goes, well, it's dry. What do you mean dry? It's an outdoor wedding, 4th of July. It's 90 fucking degrees outside. And there's no beer? There's no alcohol?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, and they're 7-day Adventists. So? Oh, yeah, and it's vegan.
Oh,
what?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
No.
I will kill you all here for a frickin' Whopper right now.
Yeah.
Honest. So I'm like, oh, hell. Well, we got these vegan meatballs. No, it's a ball of goo.
Yeah.
It's pine nuts and whatever. It's not a meatball. Honest. So I'm like, holy crap. And then all of a sudden her dad's like, hey, John, follow me. We need to go for a walk. Where are we walking to? Well, we have to walk to the truck.
Yeah.
Well, what's in the truck? Come and follow me and find out. And he had, again, a case of beer to call. I'm like, Stan, you truly are a scholar and a gentleman.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if they would have had the Days of the Tervis on there, I would have been sitting walking around with a freaking 32-ounce, obviously wedding fucking tonic.
Yeah.
90-degree or beer. But yeah. Vegetarian and dry? Oh, hell no.
No way.
If you ever do that, and if and I get an invitation on, and I know you're 7-day Adventist, I'm not going.
Yeah,
I'll send you a check in the mail.
7-day Adventist. Yeah, I never even. Yeah, there's no effing way. No effing way.
So, yeah, and you better have alcohol at your damn Super Bowl party, 2 people.
I'm telling you. Or I mean, if you don't drink, you don't drink. But
That's
I mean,
fine. But if you're having people over, you better have alcohol.
You should have a beverage. Yeah, you should have some stuff.
Some beverages there.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, we got the prop bets out here, and on this is first one is will Mickey Guyton sing the national anthem in less than 95 seconds? Take the over.
Yeah, I take the
It's
over.
under 100 seconds. Take the over.
Yeah.
Who will win the result of the opening coin toss? Heads, tails. I think tails does win it 54% of the time.
Ooh.
I remember reading that. So, will there be scored in the first 6 minutes and 30 seconds of the game? Yes, no.
I think so.
I think so.
I would expect so.
Especially the Rams. Yeah, I do. And again, first penalty. How many touchdowns? Total touchdowns will be scored. Over under is 5.5.
Total touchdowns scored. I think it'll be over.
I think it's be over.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a pretty good
over.
scoring game.
Yeah, I think it should be. I mean, I would fully expect this. I mean, you could have, theoretically, you could have a 28-21 game and you went over.
Yeah, it's 7 touchdowns. Right.
So
largest lead of the game is over 14.5.
I don't think it gets away from anybody.
I
don't see a blowout.
The spread is
Do you?
only 4 points, and I'd almost take the Bengals into 4.
Right. I think
I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be right around that 4 points, 3 to 4 points.
Yeah, I think it'll be close. I don't think there'll be a
It'll
blowout.
be a 31-28. I think it's going to be something like
but
that.
since he has gotten down and come back before, but I don't know.
And so it was the Rams.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it could happen, but I don't think so.
Total points scored in the first half, over under 23.5. Interceptions is 1.5 over under. I think.
I'm gonna go over. They
I
could
think it's
each
over.
throw a pick.
Yeah.
They're each good for one.
Yep. How many yards will Jamar Chase have? Over under 82.5. That might be the best matchup to watch is the Jamar Chase Jalen Ramsey matchup
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
because Ramsey will be on Jamar
Yeah,
Chase
absolutely,
the entire time.
absolutely.
Over under Cooper Kupp's receiving yards 106.5.
That's a lot in a Super Bowl
Yeah,
because you only have so many possessions.
but what Kupp has done in these playoffs, I'd say over.
I think they're right on. That's a tough one for me. I think they're right on that line. I tend to agree with you, but you're going to spend all this time, scheming against that player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp's their top guy, is their top receiver. You're going to cover them and cover him a little differently. And so I think that line is probably pretty accurate. I would not touch that one, to be honest with you. You're going over. I'll go under for fun. But I think that line is probably accurate.
How many touchdowns did Joe Burrow have? Over under is 1.5.
I'm going to say over.
I think it's I think
He'll get 2. Why wouldn't he get 2?
Well, he didn't have any against Tennessee.
No, I know. But
I
think he could have 2.
Yeah, he could have 2. How many rushing yards will Matt Stafford have? Over under 5.5.
Ooh, that's tough. Because he'll probably go backwards a couple times.
Yeah.
Moving around if he's got issues.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to run.
No.
So if he could end up breaking a play because that's happened. Because the way it breaks down, I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over because he's gonna break one play.
He'll break one for about 8 yards. Run
8 or
out
10
of bounds
yards, and then I think
who's gonna have more completions, Burrow or Stafford? I think Stafford will have more completions.
I do, but I think Burrow's gonna throw more.
Oh yeah. How many songs will be performed at the halftime show? Over under 9.5.
Ooh, I was about to say 10.
They were right.
And they were right on 9.5. So it's like, do they got me on the hook? Am I thinking I'm outsmarting them? But I was just gonna say 10, just off rip. So that that's a tough one. That's a push, I think, but I'll go over because I think they're gonna bring in somebody that isn't billed.
Oh yes.
And so that's going to lead to a couple extra songs, and they might get to 12. So
God, I think somebody's coming
because they're going
in.
to cut them short, right? They're not going to be the full song
No.
because we'd be there for an hour.
Will there be a missed field goal? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes, always.
How many total punts? Over under 6.5.
Under.
I think it's under. Which team will score last? Rams, Bengals. Total points will be odd or even.
Oh, that's a dumb one.
Who wins the game?
Yeah, well, that's obvious.
On there, but if you look at the matchups on there, this is a pretty evenly matched. I mean, especially on offense wise, I think the Rams have a better offensive line. I think the Bengals have a healthier running game.
I put them in the same ballpark. I think if you get both guys running for the Rams, then you've got something there.
You got something, but I think
Because they early on you had Akers and what's his name both running good.
and Sony Michelle,
Yeah, so
Mixon, and you'll see Perrine, and you might even see Chris Evans Chris Evans. You'll see him for more receiving, plays.
well,
on
yeah,
there.
and unfortunately, you give yourself away when you do stuff like that against elite teams.
Receiver wise on there, I'd say it's very comparable. I think on there because Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, Kupp's got more yardage than that, but I mean Chase has a lot, again, more explosiveness, I think.
Well, I think that's what we get caught up in, right? It doesn't matter if you're explosive. Like we got caught up in the OBJ stuff, right? Remember, he's like all of a sudden he's like this great receiver, but what did he really ever do? Nothing.
No.
He had like a catch.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't want to hear about it. So to me, I think that's a little overblown. And guess what? Like, Wes Welker won all kinds of stuff doing that very same thing.
Yeah.
Being a small receiver, playing slot, playing over here, playing over there, and just quietly racking up big numbers. And so I don't see why this isn't just when I look at what the Rams bring to the table, it is very much reminiscent of one of the older Patriot teams where you've got a stout defense, you've got a good defensive back, you've got playmakers on the line that are going to get pressure, you've got a quarterback that can deliver, you've got you don't have the big flashy jumpy out of the gym wide receiver, but you got this guy that goes down there and just
catches
done,
everything
and gets it done and just plugs downfield. And then you have other you've got a tight end, you've got other options out there. And it just reminds me kind of one of those teams that's well coached. You got a really great coach on the sidelines. He's not typically going to lose you a game, not typically. And I like the coaching advantage there too. So to me, when I look at LA, like to me, the only category that I think Cincinnati has a head up in is probably the position of quarterback itself, just because I don't even think that Burrows gets that anything's a big deal.
No.
Like, I don't think he understands. I don't think that computes. So, like, literally, no matter, you could be life and death on the edge of the planet and a meteor coming down to destroy the other half, and you could just be hanging off the edge of the planet like a fucking cartoon.
Right.
And it would not change the way he acts.
But
It's just what he is. So, like, to me, that aspect of his personality and his game is an advantage because he just don't know what he don't know, and they just kind of that's dangerous. They got nothing to lose. They're not supposed to win here, and all that kind of stuff. So I just feel like that's where they're dangerous. But overall talent, overall team, overall scheme, coaching, I just defense, offense, special teams, it doesn't matter. I just really think that LA's got every box checked.
Yeah, I think the one thing maybe if it's that close is I think Cincinnati might have a slight edge at kicker.
Well, that's the other thing. The two most fucking cocky guys on the team, or confident, I should say, are the ones that are going to be the ones that I would. Yeah, you have a little bit of advantage.
But then too, you don't want to bet against LA. I mean, if it's say 2 point, say Cincinnati's up by 2 and there's 2 minutes or a minute and a half left. Don't count out Stafford leading a comeback on there. Dude's got 43 comebacks on there.
Don't leave him anytime.
No.
If he's got 15 seconds and a timeout,
don't give it to him.
Don't think that he can't get a field goal.
Yeah.
If he's got the ball with 15 seconds and a timeout, don't think he can't get a field goal.
No.
You obviously don't want that.
No.
But I mean, don't think that can't happen. But on the converse side, it's the same thing.
Yeah, Burrows could do the same thing.
And that's what makes it. But see, this is where Cleveland is dangerous. Like I said,
Cincinnati.
I'm sorry, yeah, Cincinnati, Cleveland. Cleveland's dangerous just because it's a shitty place to go. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
But Cincinnati they have that element of just like nothing to lose, man, nothing to lose, and nobody expects us to be here, and we can just kind of do things kind of our way. And the quarterback, I just really think that that Burrows has got a little something that elevates the guys around him, and if they can stay close, they could do that dirty work, man. Like,
Oh yeah.
if it is let me put it this way, if it is a 1-score game and they've got the ball back at the end of the game, it's not over. So, and that could be what they want. That could be the best thing. That could be all they want. Give me the ball with a couple minutes to go and a chance to win it. That's all I need. And I think that might be what he preaches. Guys, no matter what we do, I just need to get the ball with a couple minutes to go at the end of the game with a chance to win it. So I'm going to do my best to get points on the board, do your best to keep it. And yeah, just keep this game close. And then they become super dangerous. But, if they got them on a comeback and all that stuff, we've seen them do it. I just think it's a big mountain to climb on a Super Bowl. But we've seen the tale of two halves too. So
Yeah.
it's really, you can make arguments in all these different ways. But this would be the one silver lining, I think, really, if you are a Cincy fan. The teams that do well, like against the spread over the course of the year, successful, tend to fare well in the Super Bowl as well. So, and Cincinnati's like killed the spread this year.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you're looking at it like but I mean, the tangibles, man. Look, I heard somebody that I respect on the radio say there's no home field advantage here in the Super Bowl, and I just started laughing. And they're like, well, the crowd is going to be split. And it's like, well, the crowd's going to be the crowd. That's not what makes home field advantage. That is the final cherry on top of home field advantage if you happen to have a crowd that's that loud. And it can be, you know what I'm saying? If you happen to have but there's only 3 fucking teams that do it in the league like that. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of fan bases. Now, Detroit, if they ever won, it would blow the roof off a building somewhere.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're talking about someone that's consistently known for being loud. I mean, outside of Seattle, there's only a couple of teams. Kansas City is one. So, there's not a lot. So, to me, the home field advantage is in this very thing. I go home and sleep in my bed.
Yes.
I eat the food. I stay in my routine. I get to see my family and do my things.
The only night I got to stay in a hotel is the night before.
Right. And I just got to ride. Well, I mean, some of these guys don't. They're just, if they're right in town.
Yeah,
They're just
on there, but yeah, I know with the Super Bowl they may want to have everybody stay in a hotel and that with it,
So-
or not. I mean, again, this is you're able to stay in your own bed, your own house.
Oh yeah,
the whole week.
Yeah, I guarantee you, the Stafford is just driving in.
I have my own training facilities there to basically the whole 2 weeks prior to that.
Well, you can go in and do all that stuff, but I guarantee you these guys are staying within driving distance of the stadium, so they'll just drive in.
Yeah.
So you're not, your top guys, all your guys, unless they want to be there, are sleeping in their own bed every night. You're like, oh, you got to do press and you got to do this and you got to do that. Yes. And so does the other team. And then they got to go back to a shitty hotel and try to get some sleep. This guy gets to go home.
Right.
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
That's a huge advantage.
That is the advantage.
That's the advantage. Yes.
That's the advantage.
Right.
You didn't travel in. You already been here. You didn't travel in. You already been here. So
I mean,
there's
and again, it's
and I know
LA.
they traveled in, 2 weeks ago or whatever, a week ago, but you didn't have to travel in.
But like, it's the whole thing with the fans and that. It's LA. Come on, LA's like one of the worst fan bases out there.
Well, you
They
get,
don't care.
dude. 75% of the tickets are controlled by the league.
Right.
What are you talking about? Fan base.
The fans aren't going.
This is not a fan event.
No, it never has been. has-
75%. Look it up.
It has not been basically the ordinary fan can't go to these games for the last 25 years.
Do you want to know? Do you know the average cost of a Super Bowl ticket over the last 5 years? Just throw a guess out there. The average cost. I know the number. The average cost.
I'm going to say probably about $3,000.
Higher.
8,
Lower.
5.
65. $6,500 a ticket has been the average price over the last 5 years.
So yeah, if you're getting 2 tickets, you're dropping 13 grand. If I had 2 tickets, I'm selling those suckers.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to the game.
Oh yeah.
Sell it, and maybe guess what? I'm gonna have the best ass freaking TV I can buy,
Right.
and I'm gonna have a kicker party. And guess what? 3 days after the Super Bowl, I'm flying to Hawaii,
I mean,
or I'm going to St. Lucia or something like that
Dude,
for 2 weeks.
I took a family of 4 to South Beach, Miami for the weekend from Detroit. Went on a 5-day cruise. Did the excursion, swam with the dolphins, held the stingrays, did all that crazy stuff. Went to restaurants, did everything we could. And I spent half that, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more. But, yeah, maybe a little more than half. But are you serious? On 9 hours, essentially? Probably 9 or 10 hours. You're probably done by then.
Yeah.
All the shit before and
13
after.
grand, man. You don't get. We went to freaking week at Disney and stayed.
So I'm
at
paying
Disney and
$1,200
we
an
paid
hour?
Less than $13,000.
It's like $1,200 an hour
yeah.
to go to and enjoy the Super Bowl festivities.
I get everyone tickets. I'm selling them.
Yeah.
Boom.
Heck yeah, dude. I would never, if I ever got my hands on tickets, I would never, ever go. Everybody's like, you go to a Super Bowl? No, hell no. If I ever got my hands on tickets, I'd flip them sons of bitches so fast.
My cousin had owns a bar downtown, and so he's got season tickets for the Wings and that. And he says when they won in '98, he says so he flew out to DC, got a hotel, bought a ticket. He goes, I want to tell you something. He goes, it was cheaper for me to fly out to DC, get tickets for the game, airfare, hotel, and tickets. It was still cheaper than what I got charged for my season, this for the same game at Joe Louis.
Oh, that's crazy.
He says I had he goes, I was dropping $44,000 every game.
That's nuts.
Because he had 4 tickets.
But the Red Wings ticket was hot here, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, when the Wings were winning championships like that, dude. Okay, so like that was when I was a young man, and I was like fresh out of high school, and I delivered pizzas as it was a primary job, and then became a secondary job as I got a regular day job. But I remember specifically making bank on Red Wings games because everybody sat at home and watched them games and ordered pizzas. They didn't even cook, motherfuckers. It'd be like a Wednesday night, and you'd have the Red Wings and Colorado, and I'd come home with a Jeezel because it's just jam-packed with deliveries because ain't nobody leaving that TV.
No.
And Wednesday night ain't bar night.
Nope.
So I couldn't believe how much money I made off the Red Wings. The fact that a sports team put that much residual business out there. We're not centered in Detroit. We're in the suburban, area, but we're not, the pizza place wasn't like in Detroit proper or downtown or by the stadium or any of that stuff. Yeah. This is just, and this is just like regular season games, not even playoffs or Stanley Cup runs. So the Red Wings ticket was huge here for a long time, where like I could see the prices being high like that. I did see Stevie Y the other day at the airport in Waterford, and I tried, and he was not happy, but I did say hello. Well, he walked in, I was like uber chipper with him at first, and I think he was like, fuck is this asshole? And so it didn't work out good, but yeah. So you can go in the airport, and I just walked into the front door of this little mini airport, private jet place, and I'm doing my thing. I got work to do there. And he gets to come through this like special little back way. And I'm standing right by the door where he came in. And I see this SUV pull up. And I'm like, oh, who's this guy? he gets a VIP. He gets to pull around back because you can see the jets like right behind him. He's like we're right by the hangar because I was doing work in one of the offices off the hangar, and so this dude gets out. So, unassuming older gentleman gets out of the SUV and comes around through the door. The door is automatically open, and I'm the first one he sees. I stand right there, and I look at him. I go, "Hey, how you doing this morning, brother?" And he's like, "Who the fuck is this motherfucker? This is way too fucking early for this shit." He's like, "Fuck you," So yeah, we hit it off great. So, and I really just wanted to be like, so why, your boy Darren's wrestling now, right? He's like a pro wrestler now. So when y'all going to be a tag team for my company and come out and work, but he wasn't hearing it. I was like, come to IWE country, we'll make you famous. Forget all this hockey.
He's so busy right now.
Forget all this hockey shit. No, nobody likes hockey anymore. Just kidding. So yeah, it was one of those things where it's like you could tell he had some things going on, and I just didn't even want to get into it. But with him, but I kind of want to be like, thank you for my childhood, and thanks for coming back.
Yes,
because the team's a dumpster fire, and we need all the help we can get. And I loved what you did with Tampa. Like I totally wanted to say all that shit, but I just. Nothing, just kept it going, kept it moving, said hello and goodbye, and not a lot with him because they didn't have his jet. There was an issue with his jet. So I don't know if it was them or him or what, but there was definitely an issue where he wasn't getting on a jet when he thought he was getting on a jet. So I don't know what ended up happening with all that, but he was definitely not.
Probably flying
happy.
out for All-Star Weekend or something like that.
Well, it was kind of cool. He was with his wife, super unassuming. He was not like... He's just wearing like, Dickies and some Nikes and like, you know what I'm saying?
I saw the outfit.
Yeah, and then he was rocking like a 2018 Suburban or something. Like, it's regular dude driving around Detroit.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, like, do you work here or something? Like, you just look like a regular guy. Like, and that's what I like about him, I guess. And my little story with Stevie Y is I was a huge hockey fan as a young kid. And I was in like elementary school when he got drafted, and I so wanted Steve Yzerman to be a Red Wing, and I stayed up late, past my bedtime because I was a kid, listening to Canadian radio because they had the NHL draft on the radio.
Yes.
And I listened to him get drafted, and I got in trouble because I jumped up around and made some noise, and my mom yelled at me to go to bed and turn off the radio. And but I was listening to. The draft, and I've been a Stevie Y kind of guy pretty much my whole life. And of course, the Red Wings were their winningest ways were when I was just in my my end of my high school career. So like first adult experiences and all that stuff were all while the Red Wings were winning and growing up. I was just so that whole time from when I was a kid, because how long did Yzerman play? And he's been retired for how long? So like and now he's here with the team. It's like, so yeah, it's been a long time. It feels like you kind of have it goes back to when we get sad about the announcers and these guys passing because you have this kinship. We talked about it with the Madden situation, and he's going to be one of those guys when he goes on to be bummed out because, be a long time watching this guy.
Yeah, because him and me are about the same age. I mean,
right.
He was 17 years old, drafted
with
it, and I was in high school. So we saw that, everything with it. So, yeah. So they got here on here.
Anyway.
Basically, we're going to the top. They got CBS. We're just going to go top 5 Super Bowls under. Number 5, they've got Super Bowl 13, Pittsburgh, Dallas. On there, that was Pittsburgh 35, Dallas 31. That was a great game on there. Highlighted by... basically, Dallas could have won that. Did Jackie Smith basically dropped a touchdown late in the game on that one, and it solidified there. That was the 3rd of 4 Super Bowls for Pittsburgh. Super Bowl, the 4th best one, Super Bowl 51, and we all know that one. New England 34, Atlanta 28.
I know.
Everybody thought it's 28-3.
We were the only ones in the house who were getting.
Oh, here comes New England. Scored again.
Oh,
They scored again.
that was the year me and you went to the same little get together, say little
Yes.
party, and we
We're the
were
only two rooting for New England.
the only two New England fans in the whole place that wanted New England to win, and we were sitting there on like folding chairs in the middle of like ground zero watching this game, going, God, we're getting killed, and then they started coming back. And the smirks on our faces are like looking at each other, going, It felt like the no situation, right? Where like you just didn't want to say anything. It's like, don't mention the no hitter. It was like, don't mention the comeback because you'll jinx it.
Nope, don't mention.
And
And all of a sudden they tied it. Like, don't want New England to get that ball in overtime.
And I'm like, man, I so want to say they're going to come back and win this game. Watch it. And I didn't want to say it because then I didn't want to jinx it. And so, yeah, but me and you were having this conversation, this voiceless conversation as the rest of the house was melting down on that comeback. That was an excellent Super Bowl. My favorite one, though, still will be the one where the Titans come up just a little short against the Rams.
That is on there, but it's on there. And then they got the number 3 is Super Bowl 52, Philadelphia 41, New England 33. That's
just because Foles like played out of his mind.
Yes, but here everybody forgets that Brady threw for 500 yards.
I know, and they 500 yards in that game.
Yes,
it's
everyone
crazy.
forgets about that. Well, yeah, New England. Well, they didn't lose because of Brady because he threw for 500 yards.
Exactly. How bad was their defense that they couldn't?
That was the Matt. Remember that was Matt Patricia's last year being defensive coordinator.
Right. They got lit up.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, you can't keep them under 41 points, and your quarterback throws for 500 yards, and you don't win.
Yes.
I mean, that's all. To me, it tells a story. Don't give me that stuff. I got this whole ring all took apart.
And then we got number 2 is Giants 17, New England 14. That was the David Tyree catch one.
Yeah, but the game was only...
That wasn't that good of a game.
No, it was just the end of the game.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all it was. Like, you don't have to watch all the beginning stuff.
And then number 1 is Super Bowl 49, New England 28, Seahawks 24.
Wow.
And again, that was the Malcolm Butler pickoff on there where they
Yeah.
should have just gave it to beast mode, and they would have won back to back.
And they've seen that play run 1,000,001 times. New England had it scouted. They knew the play. They just didn't think what's his name would be able to make that kind of break on the ball. But they knew the play. They knew exactly what it was. The defense had no doubt. They knew exactly. You might as well have just told them what play you were running.
Yes.
Because they knew as soon as you start lined up, they knew exactly what it was.
They knew exactly.
That's why
what-
he was able to jump the route like that.
because they
But-
practiced that
Yeah,
regularly
yep.
on there because they knew.
because they that's one of their tendencies, and it's like all you had to do is break a tendency and give it to the guy that was running over everything in front of him all night long, and you couldn't do it.
So your favorite on there was Super Bowl 34. And that's ranked number 8.
Oh, really? I love that. Was a great game.
Yeah.
Not that there wasn't other. The Harbaugh Bowl was fun.
And then number 7 was Super Bowl 23, Frisco versus Cincinnati's 20. That was basically Joe Montana getting the ball back with 2 minutes to go, and under. That was one basically is, Cincinnati takes the lead. You go, oh, look, they got the lead, and all of a sudden Frisco gets the ball. I'm like, going, Frisco's going to win this. Yeah. You know it. I know it. Everybody in America knows it. Even Cincinnati knows it.
Yeah.
That Frisco's going to come back and win this one on there. Within hits John Taylor for the touchdown. Jerry Rice ends up with the with 215 yards and 11 catches. So with that. So, yeah, I mean, number 6 was the wide right one, Super Bowl 25.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, I mean, worst Super Bowl on there. Let's see, what's they got ranked as the worst Super Bowl?
Who was the one? Wasn't there one that was like a 34 to something?
No, there's a couple bad
of
ones on
routes
there.
like that.
Frisco Chargers is Super Bowl. That was Super Bowl 29. That was ranked the worst Super Bowl. That's where Steve Young threw 6 touchdown passes. Then it was Seattle over Denver, 43-8. And then it was Super Bowl 24, Frisco 55, Denver 10. I remember that one. That's when we created the Joe Montana drinking game.
Oh, okay.
So every time they mentioned Montana, take a sip. Every time they mention Joe Montana, finish your drink.
Yuck.
Yes, we were hammered by halftime.
Yeah, I bet.
And then we got Baltimore over the Giants 34-7. That game was terrible as well. Tampa Raiders. I'm surprised they don't have. This one's not great. Boy, they got this one. I'm surprised they don't have. What is the one that's just a route? It's just was Bears New England. Oh, that was a that they have that on it. But I remember that one. That was the 46-10 one. I remember watching it. I'm having a couple of buddies over at my house. I'm going to college, and my dad's there, and the neighbors are there. So and all of a sudden, I make a bet. So I gave New England. I took the Bears minus 14.
Oh, wow.
And my dad goes, "Are you fucking nuts?"
Yeah, right.
I'm like, "Dude, they're gonna trust me on this one." And halftime, he looked at me. He goes, "Jesus Christ, the hell did you know?" I said, "I just knew Bears are going to destroy New England. I didn't even belong in that game." That was the honor, but
It's always nice when that pans out for you.
so here it is. Scrappy Damas almost had it, but
Yeah, I came pretty close this
pretty
year.
close.
I mean, so the Scrappy Damas, if you guys don't know, it's kind of a joke because it started off as a joke, the whole gimmick. We were making fun of all these other stations and all these other talking heads who always kind of put these Super Bowl predictions out so early. And so we started doing it in the preseason talk, just going into the regular season, the last game before the last show before the regular season. And we'd go in and we'd talk that shit, and we'd make picks. In one year, it was the Harbaugh Bowl.
Yeah.
I picked those two teams. I picked the Harbaugh Bowl and everything. I joked about calling it the Harbaugh Bowl, the whole 9 yards, and I was off by the score. I got the victory, but I was off by like 2 points or something like that on the total score by one of the teams. I was off by a couple points, whatever. And so the big joke was that I'm like the Nostradamus of Super Bowl picks. Like now, and then we laughed, and I'm like, I'm Scrappy Damus. And then we laughed, and then so it just became a gimmick where we would make these picks. It's the Scrappy Damus pick. We'll make a pick way early that's just too stupid early to make, and we'll make it. And I almost got another one, Moose. I almost got another one. I don't get too many right. Our pick'ems were brutal this year. So the fact that I came very close, had Kansas City pulled it off,
Yeah.
I would have been unsufferable here on the airwaves because I would have just been all in on a 2-time Scrappy Damas champion when nobody else has even been a 1-time. And I'm sure somebody out there has made some much better picks than we have over the years. And it was just total pure insanity. And we do it for fun. You got to have some luck here and to get that one right. And so we just had fun with it. So I hope you guys get in on next year. We'll have our Scrappy Damas picks at the beginning of the season there before we start the preseason next year. Maybe we'll get you guys all in on it, especially you regulars. All right. Any old way, it's time to make our picks, I guess. Is it time for our very last final pick'em of the season?
Yes.
That is weird to even say.
So, yeah, on there, the spread is 4 points. Let's see what the over-under is. Come on. So, yeah, the spread's 4 points. Come on, Jesus.
You got to use that. That's all right. Dig it up. It's it's not the end of the world. We'll be all right. We'll get it.
All right, so we got here is...
This is going to be a tough
So
one.
the over-under is... I don't even have the over.
It's not showing the over-under on it?
No. Spread is 4 points.
4 points.
Over-under is 48.5.
That's what it was. 48.5. We talked about a 21-27 gets you there pretty much.
I think I take the over, and I'm going to have the Rams win, but I don't think they cover.
Yeah, I think I'm in lockstep with you, Moose. I think when you look at this game from an offensive standpoint, I just sometimes you get a stalemate there, but I just don't see that. I think when you have a team like Cincinnati who's got nothing to lose, they're going to go out there and push the pace a little bit. And why wouldn't the Rams follow suit? They've got the weapons to do so. They've got the coach that likes to be aggressive. Like all those things are in place, man. There's just no way that this becomes a stalemate. I just feel like they're going to be one after another after another. I think there'll probably be 3 punts in the whole effing game, and yeah, the last one with the ball could be the one that wins it. It really could be that, and that's kind of the game I'm predicting, and I'm taking the Rams to win this game. But Joe Burrow's to put on a good, to have a pretty good showing, to be honest with you. Just it comes down to a couple of plays, right? I think it's just going to be 1 or 2 plays, and in the end, we're talking about the quarterbacks and the offensive play and this and that and the other thing, and I think there is a good chance that it could be a defensive play that wins this game.
Yeah.
It could be. Like, it absolutely could be the
key is can Burrows not be sacked 7 or more times?
Yeah, that's the deal.
Because Von Miller and Aaron Donald are going to just destroy. I mean, Aaron Donald's going to destroy that offensive line anyways on there.
Sure.
But yeah, they got, if Burrows gets sacked 10 or more times, then I think this could get ugly in that.
Yeah.
But I
don't think we get there.
I think it's 31-28 Rams.
31-28 Rams. I like it. I'm gonna say 31-34 Rams. So we're in the same area. So yeah, I got there we go. That is your Super Bowl edition of the Pick Hams. And it is time to dip set, as the crew would say, which that means to leave the area. So yeah, we're out of here. I appreciate everybody. I'm gonna get into some foods, man. I want to be a fat kid on Sunday. I can't wait till Sunday gets here. I'm gonna be spending all day Saturday thinking about Sunday, and I'm not doing squat on Sunday. Sunday is gonna be my holiday. I've been working every weekend trying to get stuff done in the leather shop. I've been working overtime in the shoot job. We've been doing this stuff. I've been doing all kinds of different things. I am done. Donezo. I'm chilling and just watching football and eating my brains out till I explode. I'd be like that dude in the Monty Python, meaning of life. I'm just going to explode.
Fuck off. I'm stuffed.
So do the same, my friends. Indulge in the good things. Your friends, football, and food.
Yes.
You know, you can have F's in your life. You know, you don't have to give an F, but you can take an F. Right? You can take some food and some friends and some family. That's good stuff. Football. Gosh. All right. So F you all. We'll see you next week. We love you.
Peace out.
Peace.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip hop, rap, and R&B.